Shalom. It is Shabbat. It is Shabbat. And I didn't even want to have to talk about these things. I thought about, what? I will just bring up the positive stuff. You know what? That's what the world wants. Let's talk about the positive stuff. Let's not talk about real hardships. Let's not talk about the struggles of Elohim. Let's just talk about the pretty things. Let's just talk about the beautiful things. Let's just talk about the soft things. Let's just talk about the kind things. And people get offended. You get offended. Yes, okay, you're having a celebration, you're having a festival. There are positive things there, but there are also spiritual things also at hand. And for me to deny and ignore the spiritual things, the principalities of the air, like I said, over the street and just different places and spaces, people want to get mad. And then they constantly like, be careful of the people you meet. No, you need to be mindful of, just if you can be living carnally, you can live your life in the flesh alone, in your body alone, and never ever consider what's going on spiritually, and definitely never ever connect with Elohim. You can walk around living your life like that, never knowing Elohim. Never. You could. However, the purpose of earth is for training. And there are two things he said: fulfill the duty of man, keep Yahuwah's commands, keep the commands of Elohim, revere him and keep his commands. The earth is for testing. Yes, Shamayim can come. It can be nigh upon you. It can be in your heart. It can be on your tongue. It can be within you. And he said, when man and woman become one truly in his way, in Ruach, that's not the same as spirit. Because it says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the spiritual wickedness and rulers of the darkness, the governing darkness. So if you are standing in the square, if you're standing in a city center, and you're seeing people playing and laughing and all of these things going on, or you're at a festival, and it can look, according to your skin, according to your body, according to your flesh, according to your carnality, like everything is fine. Meanwhile, in the spirit, there can literally be spirits in the air, in the atmosphere, because it says the adversary is the prince of the air. However, Messiah is the prince of Shalem. He's the prince of Shalom. He's the sovereign over all, and he's already overcome the adversary. But the scripture also says the adversary has a time. So he tries to get people to do things. And that's why even us, a spirit of slumber, a spirit of lethargy, a spirit of lackadaisicalness, like those are spirits, right? You don't have to be one with that spirit. People talk about different energies. The spirit of wrath, a spirit of pride. You don't have to be one with those spirits. What else? There are many spirits. You have the Ruach of Elohim includes, because Elohim is love. It does include patience. Patience is a ruach of Elohim. Wisdom is a ruach of Elohim. Understanding is a ruach of Elohim. Discernment is a ruach of Elohim. It's not your goal to be one with the spirits, unclean spirits. And so that's the difference between a person has a spirit, they have a soul, they have a body, they are a living being. And you can become one with a person. But the Elohim's blending of Ruach is completely different. Now, with that said, to the person who keeps doing spiritual warfare, who keeps being offended, when I say stuff, they don't like it. No one called you to this channel. It kind of goes back to the things we shared to people at the beginning of the year. You don't have to be in this space. I am not forcing you here. So what someone is doing when they're doing witchcraft, when they do spells, when they do divinations over people, over regions, over places and spaces, that's what there are principalities over different regions, but the people of Elohim have the ability to cast it down and cast it out. That's not just demons, yes, or the Nephilim spirits that roam the earth. So there are a lot of things that people don't see if they're not seeing spiritually, but also if they don't see with the perspective and the eyes and the wisdom and the understanding and the ruach of Elohim. There's more layers. So while you're looking at something physically, there's many layers like an onion to what is actually going on. And just because you don't see it, or maybe have the gift of see it, or maybe have the relationship with Elohim to see it, does not mean it's not happening in the unseen. It's like the wars that are being waged in the Shemaim on people's behalf every day. The prayers that go up. You don't see that prayer. You with your naked eye might not see that prayer. Spiritually, there is presence of that. And in the Ruach of Elohim, there is a tangible thing there. People don't see the tangible. Some people don't see that if they're in carnality. But the person who is in the Ruach, you can see that tangible Ruach, or at times the tangible spirits moving and flowing. So again, for the person who Elohim says doing strong spells, incantations, divinations, witchcraft, and different things like that, because they don't like somebody. Well, I'm going to teach you this thing and don't come against me, don't come against my family. What they keep doing is they keep telling me that it is the people of Wilmington, Delaware that are the problem. People of Wilmington, Delaware who are the issue. People of Wilmington, Delaware of places and organizations and spaces that I went to that, were that upset, offended. Well, you hurt people's feelings. You don't know how to hurt. So they wanted to play this song, You Can Change For Me. And they have these things, right? Programs like paid programs called, or AmeriCorps programs, the government affiliated programs called what? They called people, you're a change agent. So that song reminded me of, being a change agent. And they keep saying, right, that it is groups of people from the places I visited in Delaware, that people were offended in Wilmington. And not only Wilmington, but they keep talking about the white, and there's no other way to say it, politicians. They keep talking about people from the Pride movement. They're like, these are all these people, you need to change for them. You hurt their feelings or this or that. It's not my responsibility. I didn't call you to this space. You're not forced. You doing witchcraft and divination is forced non-consent on someone. It is equivalent to sexual assault. It is equivalent to sexual abuse. It is equivalent to rape. So when we talk about gang stalking and orgy and following people and stalking people and going to when they go to a cafe or they go to a place in person, you want to be done away with those things. But when people are continually still doing those behaviors, they are forcing non-consent upon you. It is equivalent to spiritual rape, spiritual assault. What you're doing is you are spiritually assaulting someone. You are spiritually abusing them because you are entering into their rights. There is called of Elohim the Ruach. Of Elohim's love is the Ruach of self-control. You are taking the right away from that individual because you're forcing your witchcraft upon them without their consent. So you're forcing a force upon them, a spirit that is not clean. Even though it doesn't go inside you, even if it tries to prick you, still it's nonetheless. Forcing something even on the outer body of a person is forced non-consent. I didn't consent to your witchcraft. I didn't consent to your evils. I didn't consent to be your friend. I didn't consent to be in a group with you. I didn't consent for you to follow me or my family. I did not consent for you to be on my YouTube channel. I didn't consent for you to sabotage my work, my business, or anything like that. I didn't consent for you to gossip around about me, about other people and like that. I didn't consent to that. So when I'm going on here to advocate for myself because you want to have rights, because you want to advocate for yourself and stuff, I have a right to do that. What you are doing is manipulation, it's narcissism, it's pride, it's ego, it is spiritual abuse, and it's not acceptable. And so I will continue to advocate for myself righteously.